This is Movies in Contemplation with Jirach and...
Oh, am I talking to
Jesus, yeah. Hello, everybody. Welcome back.
Hello, welcome back again with us.
Yes, another wonderful day. It's a
Cold
nice
ass
light
day.
dusting
Ugh,
of snow we're getting in
Ugh.
our area.
hate it. I'm not ready.
I love it, but I'm not ready either. Yeah, guys, so we got a nice little treat. We're ending our Halloween
Little
marathon here.
This doesn't mean we're gonna not ever do horror movies
Oh,
or
absolutely
anything
not.
ever again, but this is gonna be the ending to our theme. And I think this is a really good one to close with because, it came out in 2007, and I really, throughout the years, not too many people know about it, which is fine because it's a Spanish movie.
Mm-hmm.
But still, more people need to know about this film, I think.
So we're doing a Cali pick, The Orphanage, 2007, as she said.
Yes, and we said in our last episode, we talked about Guillermo del Toro. He's our favorite director, but to be clear, he did not direct this movie. He was the executive producer.
Yeah.
It still counts because it's him all over the movie.
Yeah, he presented it.
Yes. The director is J.A. Bayona. The writer is Sergio G. Sanchez. So this is a Spanish movie. If you don't speak Spanish, you have to read the subtitles like we had to.
And they're a little rough to read because of the color choice in the movie.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the hell that was about. But...
I don't know. Yeah, if you watch it, it's on Hulu right now. And the movie already gives you the subtitles, but it's in this yellow color, which is hard to read sometimes. It's still worth it. But before we dive into the movie, let's talk about the wine.
Yeah, the wine. Oh, Robert Mondavi.
Yes.
Private Selection, Cabernet.
Cabernet.
Yeah, we've got a, what do we got here? Red berry spice with a taste of cherry, blueberry, vanilla.
Oh, yeah, I can taste that
Paired
for
with
sure.
grilled steak pasta. Oh, God, grilled steak and pasta.
Yeah, that's the best way to...
Drink it, obviously.
yeah.
But goddamn.
Have you had it? Have you had a sip yet?
Yes.
It's really sweet.
It is very sweet. It's not like our last, but...
No, it's not like our typical wine, actually. It
me.
is very sweet, very berry. So if you're more of a sweet wine person, Cabernet isn't normally a sweet wine, but this one...
Like 3 steps behind a port, I'd say.
Yeah?
3 steps.
Okay.
Not too porty, but...
Yeah, Jirach picked this mainly because of the image. It looks like a lighthouse. Which we get to see in the film, and there's symbolism. There's some drawings of what looks like wind. It kind of gave me like a beach wind vibe.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad for nice little regular old Cabernet. I mean, simple.
More on the sweet side.
Yeah. Bred in California.
Oh,
And
yeah.
a nice vine.
My name is Cali, just like the state.
Ooh, yes. All right, so I think we can jump on in. Let's dive in. Let's dive into the film. So, what does this film mean to you?
Well, this movie, I pretty much saw it right around the time it came out. I didn't see it in theaters. I was living in Venice Beach at the time, and a friend, he was kind of like in the industry. He worked for some type of agency. I can't even remember. But he got an early copy of the DVD, and we watched it. And already being a Pan's Labyrinth fan, Guillermo del Toro, and oh my God, we watched it, and it is so good because it's creepy.
Yeah.
It's a mystery. So you have to play detective and really try to find out what happened to Simone. And not only just Simone, but the other kids. And it's about an orphanage that a woman rebuys and tries to revamp and get, her own little orphanage going on. But other things start to happen. But it's just always been one of my top, it's not it has its little jump scares. It has its
Oh, it definitely has surprising jump scares.
Yeah, surprising jump
scares. It got
scares.
me a couple times. I was like, my God.
Yeah, creepy moments, some really good like makeup, prosthetic makeup, and once you find out what actually happens at the end, you're just like, oh my God! How didn't I see it before?
Yeah.
And then when you watch it again, you finally find out, okay, now I see.
This is one of those movies for me that, even though movies nowadays are just, my memory is starting to fade a little bit. age. But, so, all that shit. But anywho, this was a movie that I did watch with you.
Yes.
Once upon a time. But I totally forgot how everything went down.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
Because I think we only watched it
Once.
one time together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I knew this was going to be a movie I would eventually pick, but I kind of forgot about it. But then when Guillermo del Toro got his star on the Walk of Fame, I was like, oh, okay, this would be perfect to do on our little Halloween marathon.
Yeah.
So the opening of the movie, it's very quiet. You hear some of the breeze blowing with like trees.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear this little girl. Jirok, do you want to give it a try?
Uno, dos, tres, calabaras.
Yeah.
Uno, dos, tres, calabaras.
Yeah, you hear this little girl.
Uno, dos, tres, calabaras.
Yeah, in Spanish, she's saying 1, 2, 3, knock on the wall.
Is it wall or door?
I think it's wall.
Probably doesn't really make that much of a difference, but anyway.
Yeah, it's knock on the wall, but it's like uno, dos, tres, toca la pared.
See, I got it.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, it's knock on the wall. I looked it up on Google Translate.
Oh, good.
But you start to see she's knocking on this tree, and after she says knock on the wall, she turns around. And she does it a couple times, and we start to see some kids.
Yeah.
Slowly.
So every time she's looking at the tree, they're moving closer.
Yes.
And I guess the point of this particular game is to get so close and then you tag them.
Yeah, have you ever played red light, green light?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Except I think the difference is, like, when you say red light, the kids have to stop, and you get to, like, look behind you and see where they are.
Yeah.
And green light, it meant run, and then you can say red light whenever you want to turn around and see how close they are.
Oh.
And then yellow light meant walk, so they had to slowly walk to you. So you had to make sure that they're following the rules. And when you say red light and turn around, they have to freeze. So if one of the kids is still, like, moving or, like, twitches, whatever, they have to go back to the start.
Oh.
So that's where I kind of figured it was, like, the same type of game like that. I remember playing that in elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
But you start to get, like, a look at the kids, and some of them have, like, you can see, like, they're kind of, like, have, like, special needs. Like, one girl has, like, braces on her legs.
Yeah, one's blind.
One's blind. One has, like, headgear around his mouth. And you don't really get to know what time but what the date is, but it's in, like, the 70s.
I'd say it's in the 70s. Yeah, I'd say 70s. It looks older because I just assume... see, with other countries, I feel, when you watch, like, movies that take place, they're so, what's the word I'm looking for? They're so, son of a bitch. Like, ancestral, like, they are so into their past. Like, clothes look like they would in the 70s. I mean, in like, the 20s, 30s. Like, those gowns, those dresses, those uniforms the kids were wearing. That looks like some 20s shit.
Yeah, like gown uniforms. Yeah, you're right.
The woman who was the head of the woman on the phone. I don't know what you would call her. The whoever that was looking after the kids in the home. Mm-hmm. She was wearing like a maid's outfit from like 1932.
Just the whole house, like the whole everything. It just looked like it was behind the times.
Very ancestral.
Very ancestral. Like, the phone was like that. I mean, we know in the 70s they still had the rotary phones. But
we still had the rotary phone when I was growing up.
But it still kind of had somewhat of a modern look. It wasn't that huge phone that, like, it put on... It looked like a pay phone from, like, way back then. Yeah. I think. I don't know. I wasn't there. But when I think of, like, those big rotary phones... Mm-hmm. I don't know, maybe they had those outside. I don't know. But we find out, well, one of the kids tag the girl, and we find out her name is Laura. And the woman who's on the phone, we find out that Laura's being adopted. Yeah. So we find out, oh, this is an orphanage. Yeah. And it seemed like Laura was somewhat... I hate to say that word, like, normal compared to the other kids, because the other kids...
She didn't have any deformities. Yeah. She didn't have...
any type of disability, any handicap. Like, she was with a lot of kids that had special needs, but she really didn't have anything, which is fine. But those were the kids that she grew up with.
Which is probably why she gets adopted. And that's what... And this was bizarre for me. The woman is on the phone and is talking to the people who are trying to adopt Laura. Mm-hmm. And she's sitting there and she's saying some shit, whatever she was saying. I can't remember. This one's going to be a little rough because I had to do a lot of reading. I couldn't, listen.
Yeah.
But, so she was saying, after she got off the phone, she goes, "Oh, Laura, you're going to miss your friends." And it was like, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, I wrote that down. The woman was very solemn. It was almost like it was a sad thing that Laura was being adopted. I don't know, maybe, I guess sad for her, for Laura, because she's has these friends and she's gonna have to go to a new family.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it was a very eerie scene.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you caught that.
Yeah. And then you see Laura do her little turn and the movie just cuts. And then we get that
Yeah, because the kids are running around playing.
Yeah, we get that creep ass opening.
Yes,
of the kids'
opening.
Hands ripping wallpaper.
Yeah,
I was like,
the opening title sequence, very Guillermo. You have this wallpaper and you see these creepy hands. Yeah,
yes.
Pulling the wallpaper, and then it's a different wallpaper, and then you see the title sequence.
Yeah,
and
bizarre shit.
Super creepy, very cool. I thought it was.
Oh, I love it.
It was great.
It just creeps the shit out of me, but I loved it.
Yeah, and then we go to, I guess it's present time, and we meet a family, and we find out it's Laura as an adult with her husband Carlos. They have a son,
Simone.
Yes, and he's about
who, if I may, looks like a Spanish Ben Savage.
Spanish Ben Savage?
He looks like Ben Savage.
Really?
One of the Savages. If you look at him, that curly hair, that little innocent face, he looks like a Fred or a Ben Savage. Benicio Savage.
More Fred or more Ben?
Which one was which?
I do not know.
I think was Fred Savage Corey, I think.
I don't know.
Because I think he looks more the Corey Savage.
The Corey Savage?
Yeah, Boy Meets World. He looks Spanish Boy Meets World.
Yeah, okay. I see that now.
Spanish Boy
now that
Meets
you
World.
are mentioning Boy Meets World, especially when that show first started, when they were really young. He had the same curly hair.
He's got that
baby
Spanish
face.
Boy Meets World going.
Yeah, Simone is 7, and we go
Raja Principe.
Yes, we go back to the orphanage building, which is now dilapidated and just hasn't been.
Yeah.
No one's been there for years. But Laura wants to reopen the orphanage. Mm-hmm. And kind of be the head. I don't even know what you would call head
mistress.
That's what I was thinking, but that just kind of sounds weird.
Well, mistress? Mistress. I think people did say mistress.
Was that it?
In the educational days, I assume.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, just the
head madam.
Yeah, madam.
That doesn't sound much better.
Yeah.
But
when I think of Problem Child, they were all nuns. So.
Yeah. But anywho.
But yeah, they want to open it back, and you already find out that Simone has a really vivid, big imagination.
Yeah.
He already has a couple imaginary friends.
Yeah. I can't remember their names.
I can't remember their names either.
Pepe.
I didn't write them down.
That's not that.
Yeah, it's not that important. But did you have imaginary friends?
No.
No?
No.
Really?
I really did not. No, I never did. I had a television.
So did I, but I had imaginary friends.
I know, but I had a television. So mine was just the television. Literally. I would watch TV and then I would go outside and I had 2 neighbors that were very dear friends of mine growing up, and we would do everything together. Mm-hmm. If one of us was outside, we were getting other people, and then as I got older, I met my other friends that you know now that I'm always with. Mm-hmm. So I was very I had so many real friends, and I was around them most of the time.
Yeah.
Mainly also because my parents worked a lot, and I was always at a babysitter. So I was always, if you will, I was essentially like these kids.
You were always around.
I was always around other kids.
You had people to play with.
Right. I was always around at least 6 kids a day because I would go to babysitting for however many hours, 8 hours or 6 until my sisters got home, and then I would be at home, and then I'd be out running havoc until my parents got home.
Yeah.
So no, I never had an imaginary friend.
I did, but I think at first I was always, and still am, a very shy child. But when I had a friend, I had this friend, let's see, I had to have been in 2nd or 3rd grade. We would play pretend, and we would come up with imaginary friends to play with us. We would go into this like imaginary world. Yeah. But I didn't really have someone that I would be by myself with and actually would talk to.
See, that's me too, because like we would like talk to like I'd talk to Arnold Schwarzenegger or some shit. You know, I'd be like, okay, Arnold, what are we doing? But I never had like how this kid is.
Yeah, it's not this kid where the imaginary friend is their only friend.
Yeah, give Tito some peas.
Yeah, yeah. It wasn't ever like that where the kid, like Simone, is really taking it serious. And Laura, the mom, kind of plays along with him. The dad, not so much.
She plays along. She wants, for me, it seems like she kind of wants it to end, and the dad was just like, this will end on its own.
Yeah,
like, he's a child, let him be a child. This is what kids do. They have imaginary friends.
Yeah.
The dad was very...
well, he's a doctor. He's all science. He's all science.
He's all science. But he was very like that. I don't want to say your typical dad, but like dads that Hollywood likes to portray.
Yes.
Of, you know, like, for example, Simone's crying. He just goes, oh, it's my turn. I'll go get him. And then he rolls back over and goes to bed.
Yeah. So it's like the mom she pretty much does everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if our babies were real, like, children, which they are our children, but if they were humans, I would be the fucking mom, since our oldest loves to come to me every fucking morning.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. She comes to you, though. If she came to me, it would be a different story, but she goes to you.
She comes to me because I wake up! But anyway,
no, because she wants to go to you.
Yeah, I know, she does.
Like, that's just...
I know, she does. She's daddy's little girl.
She is daddy's little girl.
Moving on.
But, yeah, you kind of, like, with the dad, he is a little, the only word I could think of is distant.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell it's Simone and Laura's world. Mm-hmm. Like, they are each other's everything. Like, they do everything together. And then the dad he works, and he's
there.
He's just there.
Yeah.
And I know Laura wants to reopen the orphanage for children with disabilities.
So essentially what she grew up with.
What
so
she
she's
grew up
trying
with.
to, yeah, so that's,
yeah.
See, and it's like, and I didn't get too much of this, but she had such love for her friends, but again, she was like probably, 6 or 7?
Yeah, probably like Simone's age.
Yeah,
maybe
so she
older.
had so much love for those friends, and then it was almost like she kind of forgot about them, because she never brings any of them up, really.
Right.
And then all of it, but she's like, I want to buy this place and reopen it because I was with these kids and they probably moved on and are older now and I don't know who they are, and
and who knows where she moved to. Like, she could have gone somewhere so far away that she had no way of knowing where her other friends are. But Simone and bloop, 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 bloop.
I love that sound. ASMR for all of you.
Yes, all those ASMR fans.
Yes, do you like that? When the wine just...
Don't drink it all. Sounds like you're peeing.
Do you like... Well, ASMR pissed off. All right, moving on.
So I can't... Laura and Simone go to the beach and they find this cave, and Simone goes into the cave and he starts... Like, he goes in... Like, without Laura, and she's just like, Simone.
Yeah, that was bizarre. It was like
he was hearing something.
Yeah.
And they were like just having a fun day on the beach, collecting shells and all this, and fun whatever shit you do with kids.
She's
at
over
the
here
beach.
thinking that he's at her hip, and then he just turns to Simone.
Yeah.
Simone goes into the cave, and there he is.
Yeah, and he like starts talking. It sounded like he's talking to like a bunch of I couldn't tell if it was like a bunch of other kids or like one other kid.
One.
Yeah.
At that point. I think it was one.
I think so. Because, it is. We find out later. But he's kind of saying, oh, do you want to come over? Do you want to come over to my house and play?
Yeah.
And Laura finds Simone, and he's like, oh, can my new friend come over and play? Tomas?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you met another imaginary friend. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Let's go.
Yeah.
And Simone starts to drop a little shell trail.
Mm-hmm.
So he can come over and play.
Yeah.
And this woman comes over. Her name is Bedinga.
Benigna?
Yeah.
Benigna.
Beringa. And she says that she is a social worker. And we start to learn a little bit of Simone's background. We find out that Simone was adopted, just like Laura. And
which I pretty much knew.
Did you?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of figured in the beginning, like, I don't know. I really did kind of think, I bet he's adopted because she's adopted.
Yeah, like it's not surprising.
So that's where it went into my head.
Yeah.
I was like, especially if you're like a person that has been adopted, you want to get kids out of that situation.
Absolutely.
So why not do it?
Oh yeah, no, it's an amazing thing to do that.
Yes.
But yeah, like the social worker is just like really trying to like dig in like with Simone's past, and apparently we find out that he is HIV positive.
Yeah.
Because you also see that he has to take these pills too every day, so you don't really know exactly what he has, but we find out that yeah, he's HIV positive. But yeah, like this social worker is just, I don't know, just like this woman just like pops out of nowhere and just starts saying, oh yeah, your kid's adopted and
she
he has
comes
HIV.
out of nowhere right after the cave with the shell trail. So for me, I was like, this is a little bizarre.
Yeah.
Do you have something to do with this shit? Like, what is this?
Yeah, you're not too sure. And Laura like just kind of like pushes her out. Like, okay, Simone does not know that he's adopted. He doesn't know that he's sick.
You just came out of nowhere, no phone call.
Yeah, nothing.
No nothing, yeah.
So she just kind of like pushes her out. And yeah, Simone claims that his new friend is named Tomas.
Yeah.
And he has this like little, like this creepy mask. Kind of over his head. It's like a sack. It has like eyes carved out.
Like Jason number 2, Friday the 13th.
Jason number 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because Simone starts to...
Well, potato sack Jason, I should
Yeah.
say.
Simone he's starting to draw all these kids. And the kids, except for Tomas, because Tomas is in the middle with that sack on, and then the rest of the kids look familiar. They look like the kids from the beginning. And they're holding these like little...
Dolls, right?
Not like dolls. They have like these little... Well, Simone calls them treasures. Yeah. And there's this game that Tomas and the kids introduce Simone to. And it's kind of like a treasure hunt. They take your most loved possession item, and then they hide it, and then you have to like follow the clues to find out where your treasure is.
Yeah.
And then Simone wants to show Laura what his treasure is, and it's these coins that he said he found from like a homeless guy he thought who might have been like a pirate or something.
Yeah.
So we thought that it was like
gold pieces,
gold doubloons, gold pieces, and because he has this like little treasure box, and it has like other things in there. It was like he had the ice cream package for when he got his tonsils out. I guess that had something to do with his having AIDS thing. I don't know.
I don't know.
Because when I think of like tonsils and HIV, I think of South Park. I don't know if you remember, Cartman got his tonsils out. And whatever blood they had to put back in him, they accidentally put a blood that was HIV positive, and then he had, oh, my little baby has HIV.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's horrible, but it's also kind of funny. And and if you find your treasure, you get like a wish granted. But when Simone opens his little tin can thing where his coins were supposed to be, there's teeth. And what we call baby teeth, I guess in Spanish they call it milk teeth.
Yeah.
Not sure why, but that's just what it's called. And Simone's like, "Oh, it's a clue. Where did you keep my baby teeth?" And they go into like a treasure hunt is happening. Yeah. It's on.
Right, it's on. And that was a really cute moment of the film.
It was.
Even the music made it really cute. It made it really like adorable, and you're kind of like, God, this is a scary movie.
Yeah.
Like, this is supposed to be surprising because it literally felt like a child's film at that point.
It did, yeah. Really fun, like, adventure for a kid to explore this new house.
Yeah.
And, yeah. But they find where Laura keeps the teeth, and there's sand in the thing. And I can't remember exactly where See, this is where I get confused. So they found, like, the clue. It was, like, all these different clues. And the main clue was this key.
Yeah.
And Simone goes into this drawer and opens it up. You find the coins. And he's like, "Oh, my treasure, my treasure, my treasure. I get a wish. But we didn't mention earlier, Laura kept the folder that Beringa, the social worker, had on Simone, and she put it in that same drawer and locked it up. Mm-hmm. And Laura's like, oh no, like, why are you in this drawer? And he, like, confronts Laura and says, why didn't you tell me that I was adopted and that I'm going to die? Like, Tomas, he told me that I'm adopted, I'm going to die. Yeah. And it's like, oh, shit.
Well, it's like, how the fuck? Because it's like, you just got this shit, and then it makes you wonder. It's like, well, I guess if I was her, I'd be like, number fucking 1, you just found this. Yeah. Number fucking 2, who is telling you this?
Exactly.
And what is going on? Is this really an imaginary friend? Like, what's going on here?
See, that's what this movie's really good at. It just makes you, like, question everything, because did he find these coins? Did he find this file already? Yeah. And he's fucking with his mom?
Yeah, because that's pretty
you don't know. But yeah, he the parents sit him down, and Simone, he's in this like a leather armchair, and he has his like arms crossed or something. He's just like, so tell me, is Santa Claus not real either?
He was really adorable. I'm not even gonna lie. He was just fucking the most adorable.
He was very cute, but they were just, yes, we didn't want to tell you until you were older, and blah, blah, blah. They tried to explain it, and...
Frederico Savage.
Yeah, Frederico Savage.
Frederico Savage.
So yeah, cat's out of the bag, and Laura wants to, like, get this party. Yeah. To kind of, like, grand opening of the orphanage. You see a lot of the kids that are coming in.
A lot of them have, like, Down syndrome.
Yeah, like, disabilities and all that. But it was hard to, like, tell, like, were they kids that needed to be adopted, or were these families? Like, that was odd. But
I think they were families, because there was a lot of old people there. Like, there was a lot of old people. It was almost like, is this really an adoption center, or is this more or less a babysitting school? And Laura goes up to get Simone, like, oh, hey, the kids are coming, let's come down. And Simone's like, no, I want to show you something first. And Laura's like, she bends down, she's so interested at first. She's like, what is it? I want you to see Tomas's little house. And Laura's like, no, we don't have time for this. The party's downstairs. I need you to get downstairs. And Simone's acting like a little brat. And he's like, no! Yeah. I want you to do this. I want you to do this instead of that. And they argue, and Laura slaps him in the face. God. It's so like, her reaction, though, was oh my God.
She regretted it, like, the moment it happened. Yeah, the moment it happened.
I'm telling you, like, I was like, as soon as she did that shit, and she just went, oh my God, hand to the mouth, yes. I was like, fuck, Mom. Like, damn, it was hard. And then he just starts bringing on the waterworks.
Yeah, waterworks.
Like, right after, I was like, fuck.
Yeah. And then we start getting, like, clips of the party people and...
the random old guy who just kept shooting his fucking cap gun.
Yeah, and the masks that they had were very creepy. It was very papier-mâché of these, like, animals. And then we see outside, we see this little kid wearing the same uniform gown as the orphans in the opening, and then you see Tomas's mask.
Little potato sack.
So you don't know what the fuck that's about. And Laura's starting to, she cools off and thinks, oh, Simone's cooled off. I'm going to go get him. Mm-hmm. He's not there. Right. She starts to look for Simone. I believe Laura's like upstairs in the hall, and she turns around and she sees the kid that looks like Tomas.
The potato sack kid.
The potato sack kid. He's making this weird sound. It's like a... Like, it sounds like an animal.
Yeah, like a little alien thing.
Yeah, like a little... Yeah. And the fucking kid pushes Laura into the bathroom. She falls into the tub.
She tries to open his mask.
That's right.
Because at first she was, like, touching him and caressing him, and he was all like, what is this? Yeah. Like, he even had that, like, phase of, like, if you were to grab anybody who hasn't felt affection in so long. Yes. Like, she, like, holds him, and he's like, oh my God, what is this? Feels so good. And then she starts to open his fucking mask, and then that's when he freaks the fuck out.
You're right.
He's like, and then throws her into the bathroom.
With this, like, huge Hulk-like strength.
Yeah, and then bashes the door on her fingers and, like, peels the skin. Mm-hmm. And you're like, whoa!
Oh, yeah.
And then he fucking opens the door again, gets her hand out, and then he just slams it, locks it, puts the key up against the wall so that she can see it. And it's like, what the fuck is that symbolism?
Yeah.
You know? Because I didn't really understand what the point of that was.
Yeah. So Laura... Yeah, she gets out finally, and that's when they really start to, like, look for him. They can't find him, and here's where you're not going to really catch it as being something that's going to be important later until it's the second time you watch it.
Yeah.
Laura looks at she opens the door under the stairs, like kind of like where Harry Potter used to live, the closet under the stairs.
Yeah.
And all this shit falls out. It must have been like the first time she's opened this door, because these like very heavy like metal beams fall down, and she's just like, oh, okay.
And they were leaning against the door.
They were. Yeah, they were leaning against the door. That's probably why they fell. And then she starts to try, like you can tell by her like pushing them that they were fucking heavy.
Yeah. And
you get this shot that it looks like, it's almost like a view that we are the wall almost, and the beams, it looks like that the beams are the beams are like going up against you.
Yeah.
Like, it's really strange. But you don't think anything about it, really.
Right.
You think it's just, okay.
Storage,
whatever.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we'll go there later. And, oh yeah, then she goes outside and starts, like, unmask the kids. Like, it's just getting, like, really, really frantic and really just, like, panicky. Like, the music gets all panicky and shit. And then...
And not one other fucking adult was helping. Like, she's screaming and everybody's just like what's going on? What is this?
Yeah.
What is this?
I think Carlos was looking.
Carlos was looking, but it was like not one other fucking parent or person there was going, okay, Simone. It
was almost like all the other children were in this, like, trance because they were having a good time, they were smiling, and here's this frantic mother looking for a child, but no one else is, like, really getting it. Laura starts to go towards the beach, and she's running through the waves. She goes towards the cave. Yeah. She falls and breaks her ankle, and you get to see, like, a little image of a little person that might be in the cave. Yeah. Because she's still trying to, like, no.
There he is, Carlos!
And Carlos is trying to, like, pick her up, like, there's nobody there. Yeah. There's nobody there. Cuts. You see the policeman looking in the cave. Laura's in the hospital. Cass, she broke her ankle. You even like got to see.
Yeah, like fucked up.
It was like her bone was popping out or something. I don't know. She fractured that shit. And yeah, they this lady Pilar.
I have to go check my meatballs.
Okay, go check your meatballs.
My back's turned to 2 minutes, and that's what I've got. Burnt shit stuck to a pan.
Okay, the meatballs are fine.
The meatballs are fine. But I did realize that we skipped something that is pretty important. And this is before the treasure hunt.
Yes.
It's at night. Laura starts to hear some noise going on, and she starts to investigate. And the social worker, Beringa, is found lurking about in the shed.
Well, you hear like a banging noise from outside, and that wakes Laura up, and then Laura is like, Carlos, get outside, go see what it is. Okay, I'll see. Yeah. And then he goes right back to bed.
He does that same thing he did in the beginning, like, okay, it's my turn.
Typical dad in a Hollywood film.
Yeah. So she goes out there and investigates. She goes into the shed, and you get that jump scare of that creepy lady with these glasses. She has a shovel in her hand. Yeah. She gets spooked and then leaves.
Yeah, she's freaking out, and she just, like, walks away.
Yeah, and she just gets
all
away.
All calm, and it's like, what the fuck was that about?
Yeah, so we did forget that. That is pretty...
Importante.
Yes, muy importante. We are at the hospital, and they start to ask Laura and Carlos questions. They did not find a trace of anyone in the cave. Yeah. And, is there anyone that, like, we know someone's adopted? Like, do you know anything about family members or anything? And she's just like, no, I don't. And then that's when Laura mentions the social worker that came in, and they thought, okay, well, maybe she could be responsible, and they...
Yeah, all she could give was a description. They didn't know.
A description.
She used a false name, apparently.
No, but Pilar, she's like a psychologist for the police. And they did look up Beringa, and there is no one that works in the social network.
But the thing is that you can't find her name, because apparently her name was Benigna. Yeah. So it's like...
But she lied.
Well, right. Yeah. She lied about her job.
Yeah.
But they couldn't find her. They couldn't check the fucking yellow pages? Yeah.
Well, I think it takes some time, like it takes time for them to find out who Beringa really is.
Yeah, because after all that shit, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't it? I don't want to like jump ahead of you here. So whatever you've got, go ahead and hit it.
No, but they suspect that maybe it could be possible that it could be possible that she like took Simone, but they don't have anything on her yet, so they're gonna keep digging.
Yeah.
Like digging in of who she is. And it's about the next night or that night, it's when Laura gets home from the hospital. She has to be on a wheelchair, she can't walk.
The cops are outside searching the grounds.
Laura hears more banging.
Oh yeah.
And she starts to investigate in her little wheelchair, and we find her going into maybe, I guess it's Simone's room. It looks like a child's room, like an updated child's room. And it looks like there is someone under the covers. Laura opens it up, and it's a doll. It's a girl doll. And that's really all you see.
Yeah.
And then it's like 6 months later. Simone's been gone for like 6 months, and Laura and Carlos are going to like grief counseling. But then when they leave, Laura sees this. They're in the car, and Laura sees this old lady pushing a baby carriage. The lady stops, turns her head. It's Beringa. She's pushing this baby carriage in, and Laura's like, Carlos, it's her, it's her, it's her.
Beringa?
And then she gets hit by a
truck.
Huge truck.
Middle of the goddamn road. Yep.
Yeah, totally like fucking her up. The baby carriage gets stuck under the truck. Carlos goes to the body, and Laura goes over to the baby carriage and finds another baby doll, but it's with Tomas's little sack face.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but then this is another like real creepy like moment where Carlos is like trying to give Beringa
Very Guillermo, yes. Very Guillermo.
And you don't get the face gets covered, so you don't get to see the face. But Laura goes up to the body and sees like a whistle necklace around her. So that could be another clue. But then Beringa like grabs Laura's wrist.
And then you see her fucking mouth, like
fucking mouth.
Fucking toothy maw, just fucking.
Her entire bottom jaw got like ripped apart.
Yeah,
and like we just watched The Golden Compass. It's just like that bear when they
we ripped the fuck out of it.
The jaw of what's
is that all?
Yes, is that
soon
all?
to die? Is that all? Benina.
Then we find out a little more about Beringa.
Yeah.
She worked at the orphanage, but Laura really didn't know her.
I don't think she was there when Laura was there. Yeah, but
like,
this takes me back to the beginning because I'm like, what the fuck here? Because it's like when Laura was there. Well, I'm going back in time, so let's go further.
Yeah, well, it was Beringa, and the police like search her house and all that, and that's when they start to find all this evidence. They find like photographs of like home movies, and she worked at the orphanage, but she either came in after Laura left or something like that.
That's what I'm thinking, man.
Yeah, I remember they said something, but I didn't really write it down. And I know it said like something like, well, you wouldn't have really known her because they find a photograph. It's almost like when you're in school and you do like a class photo. Beringa and Laura were in the same photo.
Really?
But Beringa was like younger, so she might have like just started.
See, that's weird though, because in the beginning of the film, when we see the woman, and this is what makes me kind of have a really hard time thinking, is I'm like, so is that supposed to be Benina?
I don't know.
Or is that some other random person? And
see, I don't know.
Is that Benina doing that fucking foreshadow of, oh, Laura, you're gonna miss your friends. Your friends will miss you, Laura. And it's like, what the fuck is this?
Well, we find out that Tomas was Beringa's son. Mm-hmm. But
you don't see Tomas.
You don't see him. They hide him away.
Yeah.
And he was born with this really horrific, like, disformity, which really, it doesn't, we do get a glimpse of it.
Looks more like burns.
It does, exactly.
Yeah.
And I had to look back and be like, okay, was this from birth, or was this an accident, like a burning something? No, it was from birth.
Yeah.
But whatever, that was the face that they decided to go with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess, like, none of the kids really saw him until Laura left. I think Tomas was starting to come out more, I guess, and then the kids, they decided to, I don't know if this was on purpose or what, but they end up luring Tomas into the caves. They rip off his mask, and they come out of the cave, and they try to convince Tomas to come out of the cave to get his mask. Mm-hmm. But he never came out, and he ended up drowning.
Is that what happened?
Mm-hmm. He drowned in the cave.
See, I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it makes sense now from the beginning.
Yeah.
Why he was in the cave.
Why he was in the cave, and then the shell, maybe, Tomas's, like, ghost or whatever, was able to find his way back home with the shells. Mm-hmm. And Laura, she finds, like, the old film footage, and that's when you see this room, which we're going to assume is Tomas's room. And remember, Simone said, hey, I want to show you where Tomas's little house is.
Yep.
And Laura was like, no, we don't have time. Yeah, he's an artist. Mm-hmm. He likes to draw. You see all these, like, photos, and that's when you see his face.
Yeah.
Woo. Yeah, very creepy face. Yeah, I guess that's why they kept him away from everybody, because his face was so deformed. So there's this other, like, kind of creepy moment. Laura's in bed, and you see something, like, go in bed with her.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that?
You think it's Carlos.
You think it's Carlos, and she's, like, having her own little conversation with Carlos, and then you see Carlos.
And then you see the light in the bathroom
Yeah.
on, and then you see a shadow come, and she's like, Carlos, there's someone in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Carlos, there's someone in the bathroom. And then Carlos opens the door, and our Carlos comes out of the bathroom, and he goes, ¿Qué pasa?
Yeah, like what?
And she's all like, she freaks out, she rips off the sheets, she goes, somebody was in this bed, I thought it was you. And he was like,
no.
She goes, it's
bed.
warm, Carlos, it's warm. He goes,
Yeah.
Because I just got up.
So it's like, it's so hard to, like, it's just where your mind's at. Like, and they do this a lot in Hollywood, and honestly, they did this in real life too, where they would not blame, but women would get pinned as being hysterical. They would have hysteria.
Yeah.
They have this overactive imagination. They have anxiety, and if you go deep down the rabbit hole of how horrible women got treated because of this whole hysteria disease, I'm quoting, but we won't go too into that. We got a movie to talk about. But yeah, like the husband Carlos, it's like he's there to second guess what Laura's going through. Because you want to go there, you're like, oh my god, like there are all these signs pointing that there is some phenomenon or some type of, I guess, like presence or, supernatural. Fuck. Yeah, that's the word.
Supernatural.
There's something very supernatural
Dean!
going on. Maybe this Tomas kid is fucking with Laura or something, we don't know. But Carlos is that level-headed science doctor person that's just like, there's nothing going on. Like, you're pretty much kind of like hinting that you're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But then, like, it's now 9 months that Simone's been gone, and Laura starts to find people other than science. Mm-hmm. She starts to find people.
Supernatural.
Yeah, like people that are in like a medium.
Like she goes to a guy named what the hell was his name?
I can't remember his name.
But
I know
his name was Professor Leo Balaban.
Yeah.
Professor Leo Balaban.
Yeah, she goes to one of his lectures, and
he's talking about doppelgangers and shit. Like,
yeah.
he's going straight up into, like, beyond supernatural.
Yeah, beyond.
Like, he's talking about, like, fucking... Yeah, you know, when the doppelganger comes out, and the doppelganger, it takes over the form and the personality. It reads the mind of the person.
Yeah,
and
so
then
it's...
it takes it... And it's like, huh. And then she starts talking to him later, and he's all like, have you ever thought of having a medium come to your house?
Yes.
Like, I have someone, she's very knowledgeable, she can come.
Her name is Aurora.
Aurora. And I will say this. The only person in this film that I have seen in other movies before was Aurora. Was, Garrow... I fucking don't know her name, so I'm not even going to try to fucking say it. But Chaplin, Aurora. I've seen her in other films, and I was sitting here when I watched it. I was like, "Where the fuck have I seen you?
I recognized her too, but I couldn't remember.
And I
from
was
where.
like,
I didn't look her up.
all the fucking movies that I remembered her in, of all the fucking movies, it was Yui Bowles' Blood Rain. Yui fucking Bowles' Blood Rain. She was a goddamn...
I don't know that movie.
Yeah, you do. You watch. I made you watch. I didn't make you watch, but I had to watch. It's the German guy that remakes video game into movies.
Yeah.
He does video games into movies, and they're fucking horrible. But he manages to get big names.
Yes, I know who
he manages to get big names into these films, but the movies turn out to be god awful. But that's a story for another day.
Yeah.
But she was in one of them, and I remember it. She was in Blood Rain, and I was like, wow. And she's in other shit, but I just can't remember.
She has that face that you could recognize.
Yeah.
But you can't. Yeah,
if she's not the Shed on Mapes in the new Dune movie, then I don't fucking know, because she's got the look of the Shed on Mapes. You're not going to know what the fuck I'm talking about.
No, I don't. Okay. I don't. But they go to Aurora, and they don't even talk about money. Like they go to the house, the orphanage, and they do. If you've seen the Insidious movie, the first one, they kind of do the same thing that the older lady does, where they kind of have cameras all in the house, and they have Aurora in this room, and they're doing this kind of like regression therapy thing going on, where she's going like, I guess like back in time. Yeah,
strobe lights,
counting back, and she comes to, and she's automatically like freezing cold. Yeah. And she starts to walk to the house, and we start to hear some whimpers. Mm-hmm. She goes into this room, and you start to hear children crying, and it sounds like that I don't know, are they cold? Are they in pain? And Aurora's just like, oh no, children, it's okay. It's like, you have no idea what the fuck's going on, because you can't see anything. Right. You can see her in the room.
You just hear it, yeah.
You hear it, but you can't tell if she can see anything or whatever, but it just gets more and more intense, and like, I guess just like the sounds just start to get like louder and louder, and then they try to bring her back.
Yeah.
They start counting back, and then she's back in the room, in her original room, and she's like seated, and she said, I couldn't see, because Laura was like, did you see Simone? She's like, I couldn't see anybody.
Yeah.
But there is something, there is more than just one child in this house.
7 or 6.
At least. And Aurora has this like heart-to-heart with Laura and says, God, what does she say? She says something like the medium tells Laura when she's close to death, that's when she'll be able to see the dead.
Yeah.
So she has to, it took me a little bit to get it, but you won't really get it until you start to like really see like the closing of the movie, like the climax. Mm-hmm. But that's the hint that Aurora gives Laura, like, this is the only way that you will get to see your son. And Carlos is just, this is ridiculous. This is not, like, they're just here to up their experiments, or they're looking for money.
Yeah, What's his nuts had an hour to set up. What's to say that he didn't add the children's voices?
Yeah, this is all a setup. This is a hoax. And
we didn't watch him set up, so it's, all those fucking questions.
So the thing, like, this movie just keeps us like, oh my god, what's really happening? Yeah. And yeah, they send the people packing, and Carlos he's finally done. He's like, we can't live here. We're leaving.
Or I need to leave.
We need to move on. There are plenty of parents where, we can live after this. And Laura's like, I can't. I'm not ready. Just give me 2 days. 2 days. Yeah. Just give me 2 days. And he just like, well, I can't do it. I can't do it with you.
You're doing it alone. She says, well, just let me do it alone.
Yeah.
Then don't bother me for 2 days.
Yeah, and there's another thing that Aurora says to Laura that really kind of stuck with me. Mm-hmm. And I know we've heard it before. Seeing isn't believing. It's the other way around.
Yeah, believing is seeing.
Yeah. Where is that from?
It's from something. I fucking remember. My meatballs are getting a little fucking ripe, so I think about it. Not ripe, but they're getting a little...
They're getting ready. For some reason, Hook is coming up to me.
Yeah.
Is coming to my head. I believe it's Hook, and it's really funny that this came to me, and I believe I'm correct, because early in the movie, Simone was reading Peter Pan with Laura. And Simone was asking all these questions like, when are you going to die? Like talking about age. And yeah, they were kind of talking about the Peter Pan story.
Yes. Ooh.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So that's something that, if you haven't seen this movie yet, I'm hoping you did see it. But if you haven't and you are going to need help with the clues, then yes, we're here to help you with that.
Yes.
But yeah, that is a big, big clue with what Laura needs to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just like what Carlos is doing. He won't believe anything until he sees it.
Yeah.
But that's why he doesn't see anything. But
you're doing it, Peter. You're believing.
You're believing, Peter.
You're doing it, Peter.
You're doing it.
Oh my God. Fuck.
Using your imagination, Peter.
Oh shit.
But yeah, it's believing is seeing. Like once you believe it, that's when you are gonna see it.
Yeah.
So Laura has this plan. She gets this house set up just like it was when she was a kid. She got out old sheets. She cleans them. Oh wait. Shit. See, there's other things that I...
Oh, yeah, we went back. Oh, God damn it.
Here's
we're
the
going
thing.
ahead.
We're going ahead. We got to go back. Before she does this, Laura goes back to the shed. Oh, no. There's another treasure hunt is happening.
Another treasure hunt?
Yes. Laura's trying to find some clues, I believe. And I can't remember exactly what, but little things that were in his treasure chest were part of the clues. And then, like... the ice cream paper was in something, and then she goes to some other thing and she finds some flower, like a dead flower, and the flower, it kind of resembled the same flower that one of the kids in the drawing had. So it's like these kids are using their treasures as clues, I'm thinking. Yeah. But all these clues lead to the shed, and you see like these piles of like flour or something up against this little wooden door. Mm-hmm. And Laura like busts through the door and finds this huge bag. It rips open and it looks like sand. Yeah. It turns out it's fucking ashes of the kids, because you see the headgear
of the kid with
of the one kid. Yeah. You see one of the leg brace. Mm-hmm. So I believe So
Benigna fucking murdered the children.
She sought revenge because the kids, of course, they're kids. They're
not kids. They didn't mean anything by that. And you see it later. Like, they didn't mean shit. They were trying to get fucking Tomas, in my opinion, to come out without his fucking mask because he didn't need it. Yeah. Because he didn't need it.
And that's something that you really do see at the end. Yes. Which is great because you're thinking, oh my God, these kids are evil. These kids are fucking with Laura.
Yeah, you're thinking that these kids are fucking the bad ones.
The bad ones, but really
it was Benigna was the fucking twat in a handbag. Mm-hmm. She fucking murders all the kids. And she goes back, and that's why you see her in the shed tumbling about all fucking scared. Because apparently...
why we had to go back and talk about that moment.
Apparently she was fucking trying to get the evidence.
Get rid of everything, yeah.
She was trying to get rid of... She was somebody just moved into this place. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pretend to be a social worker. I'm going to use their son's file that I stole. And I'm going to fucking break in one night and...
just grab the evidence.
So
I guess she didn't really anticipate someone ever buying that house again, so she thought that she was safe. Yeah. So that's why I'm thinking that's what made her pretend to be a social worker, because, someone bought the house, they're probably going to do some renovations or something, my secret is going to get...
But my thing is, why did she have a fucking stroller with a doll in it? That's
weird.
The bizarre part for me. I was like, what the fuck is the point of that?
Maybe she's just a little cuckoo.
Because I even thought, is Tomas fucking with her and making her do her own little scavenger hunt?
Could be.
That was my thought, and I was like, but I don't know, man, because it's just fucking bizarre.
And that's why I like this movie, because it makes you really think of all these other possibilities, and you don't fully get all the answers. Yeah. And I like that, because I feel like every time I watch this movie, I think about it in another way, or through someone else's like perspective, and you never know, but it just makes every time watching this movie like so much more exciting. Mm-hmm. So Laura decides, okay, let me get this place set up. Like I said earlier, she gets the old beds together, all the old sheets. She grabs the berries because that's what they would eat for like breakfast or something. And she has like an adult version of the uniform.
She's got the maid shit on. Yeah.
Does she? Or she wear? Oh yeah.
She's wearing the uniform.
She's
of
wearing
the
the
worker.
uniform, but it's more of like a maid.
Yeah. Well, that's what it was with the chick in the beginning. She had that maid look, and I was like, "That's the maid." But I guess that she was the head, whatever the hell.
Yeah, one of the people.
Workers.
Maybe she helped, like with.
I don't know what you call people that work in orphanages.
We don't either. But she was wearing the apron, maybe because she was getting breakfast together.
Yeah.
And that's what Laura was doing. She set up breakfast. She put all the dolls
in the places of the children.
In the places of the children. Now I can't remember exactly how each. I can only remember like 2 of the dolls that were found, but eventually all the dolls are there.
Yeah.
Laura's just sitting there. She's just waiting. Oh no! First she goes outside and rings the bell.
Mm-hmm. Bring them in.
Come on, children! Breakfast is ready, and blah blah blah. She sits there. Nothing.
Yeah. She
tries to like scrape this like bowl of sugar. I'm thinking, but it's either really old.
I think it's really old
and stale. And she just see, little details. She starts to take sleeping pills before doing this. Because you see her when she's getting the house ready. Because you don't really know exactly what pill she's taking, because they don't really show unless you can read Spanish and you get that little glimpse. We didn't know what she was taking.
Yeah.
Because she's making all this effort, and she's just, it looks like she's getting exhausted. She probably hasn't eaten anything, gotten any sleep. She's just getting weaker and weaker. Mm-hmm. But she's taken some sleeping pills because she's trying to get close to death.
Yeah.
The kids aren't showing up. And she just gets all frustrated, like, what else do I gotta do? Tell me, where is my son? Where is Simone? Please help me. Nothing's happening. And she goes, okay, you just want to play. She goes out of the kitchen, and I guess it's kind of the living room or the front area, because you kind of see the stairs and like a door, I guess that either leads to the kitchen. And she starts to play the... Yes, but she's doing it as a joke. 1, 2, 3, toca la pared. She turns around, nothing.
Yeah.
She does it a couple more times, nothing. But then she does it again, the door opens.
Yeah.
Okay, she's getting somewhere. Then slowly, you start to see these fucking kids.
One at a fucking time.
One at a time, and then 2 at a time, 3 at a time. And I believe one of them does tag her.
Yep.
And they start to, like, scatter around the house. And she follows one. Mm-hmm. And she's just saying, please, please, help me find my son. And the one goes into the closet under the stairs.
Yeah.
Where she went to earlier in the movie, trying to find Simone. And I believe there's also this other thing where all the clues that Laura found trying to, I think, get to the shed. Because one of the clues was a doorknob.
Yeah.
Because she had them all in her pocket.
I forgot about
the flower,
that.
there was a stitching that looked like the house or something, and then there was like a doorknob. Mm-hmm. She had them all in her pocket. So she gets kind of like locked in this closet, and she turns the light on, and she sees this wall. She starts to like knock on it, and she hears like a hollow sound. She's thinking, okay, there might be a room in there. She notices there's a hole. She finds out it's the doorknob. She has to move those metal things that she pushed up against the wall away to be able to open the door. It goes down to a basement. She starts to go downstairs, and then we notice it's the same room that she saw where Tomas was drawing. It was
where they kept Tomas.
His little desk. Yeah, that was
his little house.
His little house. She starts to call out for Simone. She looks, and under the stairs, you see something like laying on this, what we're going to assume is Tomas's bed. It's Simone.
Yeah.
And he's
bundled
up, and he's freezing, and she's just, oh my God, I'm so excited to have found you. You're so cold. And you start to hear the kids.
Yeah.
And she's thinking that these kids, you think that they did something. Mm-hmm. And she's kind of like trying to comfort Simone, saying, oh, just think when we get out of here, we're going to do all this, you're going to grow old and all, and just, I don't know, just really trying to either comfort him or herself. Yeah. You can't tell. And then slowly the blanket that she's holding Simone in starts to wilt down.
Mm-hmm. No Simone.
No fucking Simone. And, okay, so we finally see Simone's body is what it really looks like.
Yeah.
He
is dead.
He's dead. Because he was wearing Tomas's mask.
Yeah.
So I believe he was the kid that was running around.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I
That's
don't
the
think
thing.
so. I think that was legit Tomas. I think he was just wearing the fucking mask.
It says, the big crash she heard in the middle of the night was Simone falling to the ground by the stairs.
It was.
Yes,
so
that was.
She discovers Simone, right? Finds out it's him, and then she starts having this fucking, like, recollection. She starts to recall everything that happened. She goes back to the big bangs that she was hearing when she was in the wheelchair. And she was like, oh my god, like the Big Bang. It was fucking Simone banging on the wall to try to get out
of the...
And then he fucking apparently fell.
And he, like, breaks his neck or something.
I thought he just bashed his head, but I guess he did. I don't know. But he falls.
His head was pretty fucked up.
Yeah, he falls and bashes his head on the floor, and then that apparently killed him. And obviously, it's been damn near fucking a year since he's been gone.
His body is it's starting to rot.
Yeah, so...
But here's the thing. It says on IMDb that Simone had been wearing Tomas's mask all along.
I don't think that was fucking Simone, though. Because, dude, that little child fucking overpowered her. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Like,
see, that's something that you gotta question. But Laura still grabs Simone and goes up to the kid's room that she made. And she starts to take more of those sleeping pills. And then she's begging to see Simone again and be with him. I guess Simone, she found her treasure. Simone was her treasure. So she gets a wish granted to her.
Yeah.
And Simone comes up again and is, I guess, we're going to say he's not alive, but he's kind of like begging his mom to say, be with us, be with the rest of these kids. They need a mom. They need, be with us. And she agrees.
Yeah.
She dies.
Yep.
And she is now the mother to all these kids who died like these innocent kids that died being children.
Yeah. And they all remember, like the blind one. This was such a fucking sweet moment.
Yes.
The blind one goes up and feels her face and is like, it's Laura!
Yeah,
and then all the other kids go up, but this one random boy, Guillermo.
Yeah.
And all the kids go up, start running to her,
hugging
and
her.
are all like, oh my god, Laura, it's you.
You're back,
and
you're home.
What I got out of the Guillermo kid not going up, it was like, I fucking had a crush on you, bitch, and now you're old as shit. That's what I got.
Oh.
But I don't know, that's just I guess the me. Like, he just is looking at her, and she's like, don't be afraid. And then it's like, okay, MILF, I'll come up and get you. That was me. That's my dirty mind. So... But it was like, I had a thing for you as a child, but now you're a mom, and I'm coming at you, mummy. But, anywho. But no, it was a really sweet moment. And then they were like, Laura, you're like Wendy in the story now. You're like Wendy. Yes. And I was like, oh my god, get the fuck out of here, you fuckers.
It's Peter, she's like Wendy.
It's Peter Pan. It really is. These fucking kids are like, we're in fucking Neverland.
They can't grow up.
These kids that died and are stuck in, I guess, limbo, but like, they're still themselves. They were never evil. We said it earlier.
Yeah.
They were never evil. They were killed for being kids because they were trying to play with Tomas, because Tomas even, and it did take me a while until you and I started talking about this, that I thought about this. Like, I was like, okay, so Tomas is like afraid to come out and is afraid of these kids and all of this shit that we were hearing, but why at the end of the film is he the one that guides the blind girl up? Why is he now able to take his mask off? He shows these kids his true fucking form. Like, what is going on here? And you hit the nail on the head. It was Benigna the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, she fucking was hiding. Tomas made him think that he was ugly.
Yeah.
And when the kids were like, Tomas, come outside. We're taking your mask. The only way you're going to get it is if you come out. And he gets drowned. And then Benigna kills all the kids. And Tomas, at the end of the film, is finally like, you know what? You guys are my real friends. Like, you guys loved me. Yeah. So we're all children. And that's...
They were the only ones that wanted to... love him for who he is.
And it can be said that Tomas was trying to tell Simone that Simone was going to die anyway. Simone, you might as well die as a child and you'll live like this forever.
Maybe. I could see
That's
that.
my thought, because it's
be.
like, why the fuck are you bringing all this shit up to Simone if he doesn't know it?
Well, that, you know what, that could be it.
But then Simone's wish was, I want my mommy to take care of all of us. So it was like, well, the only other way that we can get your mommy to do that is if you die.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, it just seems like Simone's death was an accident.
I think it was an accident.
Yeah.
I stand by it.
Yes.
I agree with you.
See, that's the thing that makes you question this movie, like, what is correct? Because all Simone wanted to do was play with his imaginary friends. He wanted his mom to see Tomas's room.
Yeah.
So let's just say that Simone was dressed in his thing. We're going to say that Simone has been in Tomas's room before, or the mask was given to him and he was shown where Tomas's room was, and he wanted his mom to find him.
Yeah.
But she didn't. She accidentally put those things, metal pillars, up against the wall, and Simone couldn't get out. So he just got stuck, and old steps, whatever, and his intention wasn't to die. He was playing hide and seek. He wanted his mom to find him and see Tomas's.
God, I'm getting fucking heartbroken here.
I know.
Yeah.
It is so heartbreaking, and that's the thing, you don't know what's real in
I know.
this movie.
I know. Yeah. But it's such a dark ending. Like, she kills herself, but at the end of the day, it's so fucking beautiful because she is now with all of these kids that are trapped in limbo. And it's like, so now you are here to guide these children that have been trapped and are sad or broken.
They don't know where to go. They have no guidance.
They don't know what to do. They have no guidance, but now you're here to guide them. And it's like, it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful moment.
It's like sad, but it's so beautiful at the same time.
Yes. And then you have the husband makes a memorial for them in the garden, because obviously he found them.
Yes.
He makes a memorial of them in the garden, and then he goes in and he finds a clue. He finds the necklace that we didn't bring up.
We didn't mention, no.
But
we didn't think it was going to be a big deal.
Not a big deal
at the time.
But not a big deal. It was his mother's medallion or necklace or some shit, and he was like, it'll bring you luck. She goes, you don't believe in it? Well, it doesn't matter. I think it'll work for you. Da-da-da-da. Anywho, he finds it, and then he, gets up, he kind of smiles, he turns around, and the door's open, and then the movie ends. And it's like, oh my God. Yeah. So now he's going to join him, and it's like,
Is that what you think?
That's what I thought. I thought that it was a
welcome?
A welcome, like her essentially doing what Simone did. Like, the whole fucking, come join me, Carlos. Like, come join us, and Simone and the other kids, come take care of us. It'll just be us. That's what I thought. I mean, I don't know. The movie ends abruptly, so it's up to your imagination.
It is. It's up to your imagination, or, it's just asking that big question, what happens next? Because I don't see someone like Carlos doing that. I think he smiles thinking, Laura is where she's supposed to be. She's supposed to be with Simone. He could join them, or he can just go back there and, I don't know.
That's interesting, though. But I, again, think that something we didn't bring up, the piano. He was big on playing the piano. And when Simone was gone for so long, he's literally trying to play the piano, and he gets to the point where he's like, I find no fucking joy in this. I can't even play the piano. Yeah. Like, I'm hitting one note, and I just want to burn this fucking thing to the ground.
Yeah.
So, I will say, I think that when he found the bodies, this is my take.
Okay.
That was your take. This is my take. He finds the bodies, and he's already having this, emotional breakdown. He's already having this, I fucking hate life right now. I don't want to be in this house. I don't want to do anything. But now I just found the necklace that I gave my wife, and here's now my wife's spirit guiding me to her.
Here's the beginning of his treasure hunt.
Right. I don't know. I can only think that he would do it.
Yeah, you know what? That makes a lot of sense,
and
too.
that goes to you were all science and shit, but you lost a son. You're still there with your science shit, but now you lost your fucking wife. I think you're going to get a little desperate.
Yeah.
That's me. That's my take. That's what I
like that take. I would prefer that, honestly, but
that's me. That's what I think. So,
yeah.
I think we covered it.
We did. So, this was a This is a deep one.
Yeah, very deep.
Yeah, but it is so good.
Yeah.
It is such a good movie. It's touching, it's scary, it's a mystery, it's smart, and it gives you a reason to watch it again, to look for the clues that you didn't see the first time.
Yep.
Or the second time, or the third time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that is The Orphanage. So, Drock, would you watch this movie without me?
You know what? I would. I if this was on and I was flipping through, I would watch it. And I probably would watch it again without you. It is a really good movie. It is a very interesting, suspenseful film. And I'd be glad to say that I would watch it without you. Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, like, there's so much detail to this movie that it's pretty obvious why we
wise, it's very hard to watch it again.
No.
But it is a very watchable.
It's very watchable, and yeah, we were jumping a little bit with certain details, but there is so much detail in this film. We tried to hit what we could, but didn't want to give away too much, so you don't,
Yeah.
We want you to go on that mystery journey with this film. Mm-hmm. But what do you got for me?
What I've got is we're coming into November, and I was like, I don't really know too many November films. I don't really know too many Thanksgiving films.
There aren't that many.
And obviously, I did Son of a Woman that can be argued as a Thanksgiving film, but I forgot about one of my favorite films growing up, and a movie that really hits me at the core, and I want to do it. It is my favorite Joe Pesci film of all time.
Okay.
And arguably my favorite Brendan Fraser film. And if you don't know what this is, folks, by the name, it is called With Honors, and it is considered, I think, a Thanksgiving film, but it's just such a beautiful film, and I think it is very important to kind of remember shit like that, especially nowadays.
Yeah.
So that's the film that I want to do. I want to go back and revisit that film. With Honors, folks. Go ahead and try to find it and watch it with us, and we'll be doing that next week.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So, God, heavy today.
I know.
All right.
Super heavy.
So,
heavy.
yeah, folks. So, With Honors next week. Please go ahead and we appreciate your likes, subscribes.
Leave us a review.
Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts.
If you got a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are everywhere on social media: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Go ahead and follow us and get into the conversation. Let's talk about some of these movies. Are any of these movies that you haven't seen before listening to our episode? Did you end up watching them?
Yeah.
Or do you agree with things that we've said about the movie? Let's get talking.
Yeah, chat it up.
Yes.
All right, babies. Well, I think that's about time, so let's move it on.
Moving on up.
To the side. All right. Bye, babies.
Toodaloo.